pretty common in an organization for the folks who report to leaders to come in and make a request or make a suggestion for improvement. And when this happens, it's pretty common for those suggestions to show up without a whole lot of context. As a leader, I want to give you a few questions that you can ask to clarify why this person is making the request that they're asking for. And these questions can create a pattern of communication that you are really going to benefit from. It's going to save you time, and it's going to save some stress and headaches of the people who are reporting to you. So these folks are going to show up with an idea for something that the organization or the project team can do differently or can start doing. And if you don't know why they are suggesting this, if you can't understand what problem it's going to solve or what outcome it's going to generate, ask those questions. So ask why. That's a good place to start. It's also pretty general. Asking the question why will get them thinking in the right direction. And it does have the shortcoming of not nudging them in a particular direction. So why can be answered either because it'll solve this problem or it will create this improvement. If they struggle with a response to the question of why, start asking more specific questions. So what is the problem right now that this solution of yours is addressing? And see if you can ask the question in a positive, encouraging way that invites them to respond in a clear and encouraged way. So ask them, what's the situation that this is responding to? What is the problem? Or what's the problematic situation right now? And see if you can get them to talk about what this situation is in a way that you agree with. If they're just describing a situation and you are not clear on how this situation is a problem, then maybe ask the next question, who is suffering from this? Who has this problem? Why is this a problem? And as you ask them to get deeper into this description of the situation, they're going to get more detailed. And as you get them to start talking about the further details of the problematic situation, you are going to start to understand who is involved in this problem, whose personality is actually defining this as a problem. So there are a couple of things that you're going to want to consider. One thing is, do these people's opinions matter? Do I care about them? And I do want to encourage you to be open to that. Don't pre-decide who you care about and who you don't care about. See if you can understand why the person that you're talking to cares about this person's or these people's opinions. Most likely, there is something valid there. So you're asking questions like, okay, so what's the problematic situation? Who is suffering from this, or who is deciding that this is a problem for? Once you're clear on that, it might also be a good idea to ask about the other side of things, which can sound like, okay, so if we do this, what results are we looking for? What's the definition of success here? How will the person or the people who have decided this is a problem, how will they feel at the other end of this? How will they know that we have created a better situation for them? Start thinking in these terms. So a problem is only a problem if somebody decides it's a problem. And very often when problems get addressed, it's not verbally acknowledged who that problem sufferer is. Very often, it's just sort of broad and foggy. And maybe it's so universal that it doesn't need to get acknowledged. It could be, wow, everybody on the project team recognizes that the project grinding to a halt is a problem. In a situation like that, sure, you don't need to spell it out. But when it's more pinpoint, when it's more detailed, when not everybody thinks a current situation is a problem, maybe a lot of people think, wow, this current situation is great. And a tiny minority of people say, no, it's a problem. That's when you need to get clear on who believes that there is a problem and what that problem actually is and why more people should see it as a problem. So start to think in these terms and ask questions along these lines. What is the problem? Who has the problem? What does better look like? What does the problem feel like? What will the better situation feel like to these people who have decided that there is a problem? If you can start to get clear on that, you will understand what the business argument for making this change is. Ask these questions, get the person that you're talking to answer them adequately so that you can agree on what the idea is. No matter what, this process is going to make the person who comes to you with the idea feel listened to, understood, and collaborated with. And that will make them feel like a stronger, more contributional member of the team. So you can't help but do good by asking these questions. Give this a shot. Let us know how it goes.